Hi, this is Karthik. Welcome you all for this session. In this session, I'm going to teach you introduction to data types, variables, and constants in C++. Once again, I repeat the topic, introduction to data types, variables, and constant in C++. So before getting into this topic, we should know what is meant by data. Why? Because the actual task of a computer is when you give the data, computer will convert the data into information with the help of instructions. So we should understand what is a data. A data is an unformatted or unstructured information. Or data is a raw fact. Or data is an unprocessed information. Data can be anything from the user end. In simple, data is a raw fact. It cannot be used directly. For example, I have two numbers, 10 and 20. Can I use this number directly? No, I don't know what to do with this number. So I need an instruction. For example, plus. Now I know I want to add 10 plus 20 equal to 30. 30 is information. So what is an information? Information is a processed data. Information is organized or structured data in which we can use directly. Information can be used directly, which gives a valid meaning. Okay, so once again, what is an information? Information is a processed data. Information is organized or structured data. Information can be used directly, which gives a valid meaning. Next, what is a variable? It's a very important concept in C++. If you want to store a value, you need a variable. Without variable, it is impossible to store a value. So what is a variable? Variables are containers for storing data values. See, it's a variable. If you want to store data, you have to keep the data in variable. Without variable, we are not allowed to store any data. So variables are the placeholder in storage value. Okay, so if you want to use memory space in your program, you want to use variables. A variable tells the compiler where and how much storage to create for a variable. Okay, so syntax is a rule. So first you want to define your data type followed by variable list. For example, integer a comma b comma c or float a or character a comma b comma c comma d. So once again, what is a variable? Variables are containers or placeholders to store a value. In C++, if you want to store a value, you are in need of variable. Without variable, it's very difficult and impossible to store a value in C++. Next, moving on to the topic, data type. So what is a data type? See, the data is not of same type, it differs. So we want to organize and store the data. If you organize and store the data in such a way that we can able to retrieve or take it back as soon as possible without any delay. So that is why we need of data types. In C++, we have three types of data types like user-defined data type, built-in, derived data type. Under user-defined data type, we have structure, union, enumerator, and class data types. And built-in, we have integer, character, float, double, boolean, void, while characters, and so on. Derived, we have array, function, pointer, and groups. So what is a data type? Data type determines what type of data a variable can hold. Since we have a lot of classification in data, we should determine what type of data the variable is going to hold. It's very important. That is the actual need of data type. So why we need data types? In order to store and retrieve the user data efficiently, we need data type. Data can be anything. It can be a number, name, currency, date, text, audio, image, and video, etc. In order to store and retrieve the different data types efficiently, we are in need of data types. So in C++, the four data types considered to be primitive data types, that is integer, float, character, and boolean. If you want to save the whole numbers, we have to use integer. If you want to save the decimal value or floating point or fraction values, we want to use float. If you want to save only one character, you want to use the data type character. And boolean is used to store true or false, or we can store 0 or 1. Now we'll see character. Okay, so what is a character? The keyword char. If you want to use the data type character, the keyword is char. Is used to store exactly one character, such as a, small a, or capital A. You are allowed to store only one value. The keyword is used for character data type is char. As I told you, if you want to use the data type character, you want to use the keyword char. So character typically requires 1 byte of memory space. It's required only 1 byte. Since we are going to store only one character, we need 1 byte. Example, followed by data type and variable name, and then we want to assign the values. This is how we want to use character. And next, followed by integers. The variable of these types are used to represent integers as whole numbers. Keyword used for integer data type int. We want to use integer, the keyword is int. The integer data type typically allocates 4 bytes of memory space. Okay, so whenever you declare a variable as integer, it will allocate 4 bytes of memory. How to use it? Simple. Integer c, it's a data type, it's a variable name, and then integer a comma b, you can assign a equal to 10, b equal to 20, or c equal to 30. So integers are the numbers without any fraction or decimal point. Float. So variable of these types are used to store numbers that have single position floating point values, fractional point or decimal values like 1, 0.2, 5 or 8.9, etc. The keyword used for float is float. Float variable typically requires 4 bytes of space. So how much space is required? It requires 4 bytes of space. What is the keyword you want to use? Same float. So what is the syntax? Data type followed by list of variable list. A equal to 20.12, B equal to 18.129, or C equal to 22 by 7. If you want to store this kind of values, you are allowed to store by using a data type called as float. Next comes Boolean. Boolean data type can either store an integer value 1 to the literal true or a value 0 to the literal false. As I told you, if you want to store true or false, you want to use the data type Boolean. Okay, so the keyword used for Boolean data type is bool, B-O-O-L. Syntax Boolean followed by variable and value. So if you wish to store true or false or 0 or 1, you want to use Boolean. Next come constants. What is a constant? If you declare a variable as a constant, it remains same throughout the program. Constants refers to fixed values that cannot be altered by a program execution. They're called as filters. Once you declare a value as a constant, you are not allowed to change during any part of your program. This is called as constant. C++ define two types of constants, or there are two other different ways to define constant in C++ using const keyword or by using hash defined preprocessor. There are two ways in which you can use const or constant in your program. One is by using const keyword, other one is by using hash define. Next. So how to use this using const keyword? So keyword const is for uh, constant name. For example, const is integer as data type followed by variable value. This is constant keyword data type and then followed by next. Next one by using hash defined preprocessor. So hash defined with constant name. So hash defined is a constant name m1 and value. Hash defined constant name. So there is m2 and value. So there are two ways you can define a constant in your program. One is by using const keyword, other one is by using hash defined preprocessor. So I think you guys have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching this video.